Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagala Raghunathan Vikamtam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagala Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vikamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपीश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। We'll be starting with the second unit now, from 7th chapter to 12th chapter, which is also known as Bhakti Yoga. Every 2 weeks, we'll try to finish one chapter. So by the end of 12 weeks, we are completing the second unit. So we'll have exam after that. So now it will be a fast track class. Till 6th chapter, more explanation. After that, quick classes. Okay? So you miss a class, you're missing 6 to 7 verses. So don't try to miss the class. And after that, study. Next day, immediately revise all the 6 verses. Whatever 6, 7 verses taken, just revise it. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, 7th chapter. What is the 7th chapter name? The knowledge of the absolute. Vibhuti. What is the second chapter name? Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Right? Just open. What is the 7th chapter name? Akshara Brahma Yoga is 8th chapter. 9th chapter is Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. 10th chapter Vibhuti Yoga. What is 7th chapter? Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Am I right?
Yes, Mother.
Very good. So, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Till now we have studied what is Jnana. We should know how to apply also. For that, Vijnana, we should know that how this body, this soul belongs to Krishna. Because Jnana is to understand the difference between body, that is matter, soul, and God. Then, how to apply, that is in 7th chapter. From here, Bhakti Yoga starts. Bhakti Yoga means keeping Lord in the center and connecting everything to Krishna. That is Bhakti Yoga. Jnana Vijnana Yoga. The knowledge of the absolute. That means keeping Lord in the center. Okay. In the previous chapter, you see the last verse. The last verse, from that last verse, this connection comes. How one chapter is connected to another chapter, the last verse. Yoginam api sarvesham mad gadenantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam sami yuktatamo mataha. This last one, yuktatama. Yuktatama means what? How to connect everything to Krishna. Yuktatama, the greatest yogi is one who connects everything to Krishna. Me yuktatama. Me means to me. Everything is connected. And that is bhakti. So the glimpse of bhakti has been given in the Dhyana Yoga. Like glimpse of Dhyana Yoga has been given in 5th chapter. You see last verses, 5th chapter, the glimpse of Dhyana Yoga has been given. The same way, the glimpse of Bhakti Yoga has been given in the last verse of 6th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, 7th chapter. Maya Saktamana Partha. What it started with, see? Maya Sakta. What has been given here? Maya Asaktaha. Yuktaha Tamaha. You understand the connection? Maya Saktamana Partha. Yogam Yunjan Madashrayah. Asamshayam Samagram Mam. Yatha Gyasasi Tachrunu. मय्यासक्तम श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यासक्तमना पार्थ योगं युञ्जन्मदाश्रयः असंशयं समग्रं मां यथा ज्ञास्यसि तच्छृणु. So Krishna says here, तच्छृणु. मय्यासक्तमना पार्थ योगं युञ्जन्मदाश्रयः असंशयं समग्रं मां यथा ज्ञास्यसि तच्छृणु. Here the word shrunu comes. Until and unless we hear, we don't know how to connect to Krishna. Somehow one can get jnana, but vijnana is only by hearing. The more we hear, we can apply the knowledge. And that application of knowledge by hearing leads to maya sakta manaha. One's mind is completely attached to Krishna. O Partha, yogam yunjan mad ashrayam. Yogam. So he is practicing. Yunjan means he is practicing. What is he practicing? Yogam. Yoga means self-realization. He is practicing his servitorship with Krishna. When we are giving everything to Krishna, what it implies? I am servant of Krishna. When everything is given to Krishna, when time is given to Krishna, chanting is given to Krishna, there we are implying, yes, I am servant of Krishna. So self-realization is practiced. Mad ashraya. How? In consciousness of Krishna. Mad ashraya. Self-realization is impossible without Krishna realization. Asamshayam, don't doubt, Krishna says. People have generally a doubting tendency. Why we are doing so much of devotional service? What is going to happen? If I don't get Krishna then? If I get Krishna then? What I am going to answer? If Krishna asks me, at the time of quitting the body, what did he do? At least a person who has done devotional service can say, yes, I have chanted. Even if he doesn't get Krishna also, he has a satisfaction that he has chanted. But what if Krishna comes before and says, what did you do whole life? Just wasted your time. This is why so many karmic reactions come. Why? Because of wasting the time. This time is Krishna, and we don't have inclination to chant 16 rounds. When we don't do that, what happens? It comes in different forms. All karmic reactions come. Because time is not utilized for Krishna. Then, Assumption, Krishna says, don't doubt. When you do everything for me, samagram mam, samagram, completely you are for me. Yatha gyasasi tashrunu. So here, don't have any doubt. Be free from doubt. That how by practicing yoga, the mind becomes connected to Krishna. We are all endeavoring to have our mind to Krishna, isn't it? Mind is such a unsteady thing. Even Krishna, even Arjuna says, the mind is very unsteady. How to fix in Krishna? Yoginam api sarvesham madgadena antaratmana. So answer is given here. Because in 6th chapter, Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgadena antaratmana. His whole consciousness is in me. That yogi is the perfect yogi, or topmost of all the yogis. So how it is possible? Hearing process. Tachrunu. Answer is given in just one word. Tachrunu. Just by hearing to our spiritual master, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, whole Guru Shishya Parampara, whatever Prabhupada has given to us, just by doing this, 6th chapter's last verse and first chapter's first verse, 7th chapter's first verse, and attaining self-realization is very, very easy. Okay, Shilpa Patangi. Hope all of you gave the class. Goloka, did you give the exam? Sorry. Did you give the exam?
Yes, Mataji.
Who did not give the exam? Raise the hand. So this Saturday, Sunday, you all are giving, right? Very good. Others who did not give exam, this will, let me see. Here, Anuj Khamkar, did you give the exam?
Yes, Mataji, I have given.
You have given. Preeti Yadav has given. Ashish Upadhyay, did you give the exam?
Yes,
Okay,
Mataji.
yes.
I also yes.
Only two. Saurabh, did you give the exam?
Yes, Mataji.
Only two did not give the exam. Okay. And Gautam is also not giving the exam. So this Saturday, Sunday completed. Okay. Don't keep it very long term. Just complete. Don't get afraid. Everybody will be passing. Don't worry. Okay. Read.
Hare
Please read.
Krishna. 7.1 Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Mai Ashaktamana Patha Yogam Yugnan Madashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Jnanyasi Tachrunu. Now hear, O son of Pritha, Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Purport. In this 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the nature of Krishna consciousness is fully described. Krishna is full in all opulences, and how he manifests such opulences herein. Also, 4 kinds of fortunate people who become attached to Krishna and 4 kinds of unfortunate people who never take to Krishna are described in this chapter. In the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the living entity has been described as non-material spirit soul, which is capable of elevating himself to self-realization by different types of yogas. At the end of the sixth chapter, it has been clear that the steady concentration of the mind upon Krishna, or in other words, Krishna consciousness, is the highest form of all yoga. By concentrating one's mind upon Krishna, one is able to know the absolute truth completely, but not otherwise. Impersonal Brahma Jyoti or localized Paramatma realization is not perfect knowledge of the absolute truth, because it is partial. Full and scientific knowledge is Krishna, and everything is revealed to the person in Krishna consciousness. In complete Krishna consciousness, one knows that Krishna is ultimate knowledge, beyond any doubts. Different types of yoga are only stepping stones on the path of Krishna consciousness. One who takes directly to Krishna consciousness automatically knows about Brahma Jyoti and Paramatma in full. By practice of Krishna consciousness yoga, one can know everything in full, namely the absolute truth, the living entities, the material nature, and their manifestations with paraphernalia. One should therefore begin yoga practice as directed in the last verse of the 6th chapter. Concentration of the mind upon Krishna, the Supreme, is made possible by prescribed devotional service in 9 different forms, of which Shravanam is the first and most important. The Lord therefore says to Arjuna, Tat Shrunu, or hear from me. No one can be greater authority than Krishna, and therefore by hearing from him, one receives the greatest opportunity for progress in Krishna consciousness. One has therefore to learn from Krishna directly or from a pure devotee of Krishna, and not from a non-devotee upstart puffed up with academic education. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, this process of understanding Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is described in the 2nd chapter of the 1st canto as follows. Mataji, you will read.
Okay. Now just stop till here. Let us understand in the first 6 chapters, if you see, more about the Swarupa of the Jiva has been given. The nature of the body, the nature of the Jiva. You see, more about the Swarupa of the Jiva is given. Now Krishna says, Mad Gadena Antaratmana Shraddhavan Bhajate Yo Mam Same Yuktamo Mataha. Krishna is given in the 6th chapter, last verse. Mad Gadena Antaratmana. Now, which form to be worshipped? Okay, mind should be focused on me. How you look, Krishna? What is your form? So Swarupa of the Lord has been given in these 6 chapters, Bhakti Yoga. Swarupa of the Lord has been given. So you should understand what is this chapter containing, Swarupa of the Lord. So that is how the mind, when it is focused in Krishna, the Jiva's object of the worship of Lord is of the Jiva is the Supreme Lord. Now there are 5 rasas, but we are not interested in the first rasa, that is Shantaras. We are interested in the 4 rasas, where clear understanding about our relationship to Krishna is there. In Shantaras, we cannot understand. Okay, only reverence is there. From the Dasya, it starts with Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhya. That is how in these 4 rasas one should take Ashraya. Mad Ashraya, Krishna says. Take Ashraya. That is how he should understand how to take surrenderance of Krishna. How to surrender to Krishna. This is Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna says, by this knowledge, what I am going to give now, by this knowledge, you will know the Lord, the Supreme Lord of all beings. And then Krishna's power, Krishna's energy, and how to take shelter of Krishna. Everything has been given. Samagram also means his abode. Even his abode can be understood by this knowledge. Not that the whole knowledge can be understood. It is difficult even for Balaram to understand the knowledge of Krishna. Who are we then? Just by reading these chapters we can understand? No. Yes, but we can understand the nature of Krishna's abode. So here Samagram means the nature of Krishna's abode. So nature of Lord, nature of surrenderance, how to surrender, the nature of one's relationship with Krishna, that can be understood. Ananta, Krishna is Ananta. Krishna's knowledge is also Ananta. You cannot limit the knowledge. So in Bhagavatam, if you see these verses have been put, that how the stages from Shraddha to Prema. These are the levels of devotional service. We have done this. Adav Shraddha, Tatha, Sadhu Sangha, Anartha Nivrutti, the Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivrutti, Nishtha. Then comes Asakti, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. First is Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. Vipralamba, Prema. 9 stages of devotional service. We extended that with another 5 stages with Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur spoke. Mercy of the devotees, knowingly, unknowingly served the Lord. But 9 are the principal ones. 9 are the principal ones. Adav Shraddha. How it started? With faith. How Rukmini started loving Krishna? Just by hearing. She has never seen Krishna in the Bhauma Leela. Actually, she is Lakshmi, inseparable from Krishna. But in Bhauma Leela, it happens that she is the son of Bhishma, Kaundanyapur, the king of Kaundanyapur. She has never seen Krishna. Narada comes to her palace and every day speaks about Krishna. Just by hearing, she develops a love for Krishna and decides that I will only take Krishna as my husband. I will only marry with him. I will not marry anyone else. That is how she writes a love letter. You all know that, isn't it? Rukmini's love letter to Krishna. Just now we went to Dwarka, Atra, we spoke, we had a class over there. So these are the verses now, Shruvatam to last. These are the verses from Bhagavatam, which Srila Prabhupada writes in Markine Bhagavat also. Very important verses to be memorized. This is not going to be asked in the exam, but these are the verses to be memorized, because when you are going to do Bhakti Vaibhav next year, this is going to come, first canto, second chapter, this is going to come. Better is start learning from now only. Shrunatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravala Kirtanaha Hridayantastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhasatam Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Tadarajasamo Bhava Kamalobhadayasche Chete Tera Vidham Sitam Satve Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavata Bhakti Yogatah Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate भित्तिते हृदये सर्वसंशय क्षीयन्ति चासकर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे. Somehow memorize these verses. Now start memorizing the verses. We talk so many things, isn't it? Mouth opens up, pak, 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 goes on talking. Better is learn this, na? Learn this. Stop talking nonsensical things. Stop talking irrelevant things which is not required in your life. Stop asking people about their histories. क्या हुआ, कब शादी हुआ, क्या कर रहे हो? Don't talk all these things. If you happen to meet people, talk this. Shrunotam swakatha Krishna. Are you hearing about Krishna? Talk this. Shrunotam swakatha Krishna. Punya shravala kirtana. When you hear about Krishna, Shrunotam swakatha Krishna, Punya shravala kirtana. What happens when you hear about Krishna? Sadhu Sangha. Here what has been given? Shrunotam swakatha Krishna. Adau Shraddha. Shraddha is there. That is why you have done Sadhu Sangha. That Sadhu Sangha will make you hear Bhajana Kriya. And that is how Hridantastaya Bhadrani, Abhadras, all. Abhadras is what? Anartha Nivrutti. Hridantastaya Bhadrani Vidunoti Surasatam. In this one verse, 4 stages has been given. Adau Shraddha, Tatha Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivrutti. What happens when Anartha Nivrutti is done? Anarthas are gone. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata seveya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Nishtha stage comes. Firm faith. Even if somebody scolds, no problem. I will not go. Who will scold? My superiors will scold. Who will scold? My equals will scold. My juniors will never have any daring to scold me. If they dare to scold, you can shut them up. So maximum who will scold you? Your superiors will scold you, equals will criticize you or maybe scorn you or sometimes scold you also, equals. Your junior sometimes may take some sahas to scold you. That time you can shut them. You can shut your mouth. So in all the circumstances, you develop nishtha. Nishtha means firm faith in Krishna. In all these 3 circumstances, I am not going to go away. I am going to serve the Lord. I am going to serve the devotees as I am doing before. And then what happens when Nishtha comes? Till this stage, till these 2 verses, is our prayasa. Then Krishna's mercy flows by giving a ruchi. Tada rajastamo bhava kama lobha tayasche cheta etaranavidam sitam satve prasidat. So in this way, is Rajas and Tamas. We were very attracted with this. Rajas and Tamas, all Rajasic type of eating, Rajasic behavior, Rajasic choice, Tamasic choice. Now, gone, all these things. Tada Rajastama Bhava Kama Lobha Dayaschi. Because of this Kama, Lobha, and all these things happen. Because of Rajasic type of life, Tamasic type of life. Because of Nishtha, because of Sadhu Sangha, you have attained Nishtha. Then what happens? Chete ter anaviddam sitam satve prasidati. Yes. Now what is that ruchi? Ruchi is in sato. Ruchi is developing in, progressing in sato guna. Giving up rajas and tamas. Progressing in sato guna. So then asakti develops. What is that asakti? So that asakti sitam satve prasidati. Yes, there is a asakti. I should always be in sato. I am giving up my taste of rajas. I am now firmly fixed in sato. Evam prasanna manasaha bhagavad bhakti yogataha. So this is bhava, prasanna manasaha. In that you may cry also. That crying is also prasanna manasaha. That crying is not because of frustration. You cry 2 times or in two conditions, 2 circumstances. One when you are completely frustrated and when one you are completely in love with Krishna. So, evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya chayate. In this bhava stage, you are experiencing that mukta sangasya chayate. You are experiencing complete liberation. When that bhava comes, bhava is the ray of prema. Like in the morning, twilight is a ray of sunlight, right? What is twilight? How will you describe twilight? The ray of sunlight. What is bhava? A ray of prema. The last is prema. Vidyate hridaye grantis chiddante sarva samshaya. Shriyante chasa karmani drishte vatmanishwara. Vidyate hridaye grantis. All your hridaya granthi. So many granthis. This knot, that knot, this affection, that affection, this hatred, that hatred. So many knots we have put inside our consciousness. Vidyate. Now taking out a sword and just cutting every knot. Vidyate hridaya grantis. Chidyante, cutting all the knots. No affection with anyone. Everybody just be in a formal behavior. Love is only for one spiritual master and Krishna. No one else. And Vaishnavas, yes. So no one else, no material affection. Vaishnavas one should serve. Spiritual master one should surrender. Then only one can understand love for Krishna. So they're all knots, just cut it. Vidyate hridaya grantis chiddante sarva samshaya. Remove all the samshayas first. Oh, by cutting all the knots, what will happen if I cut the knot of affection? Here, Kunti Maharani says, oh Lord, cut all the knots. Let my love to you flow like how Ganga flows towards the ocean. Vidyate hridaya grantis chiddante sarva samshaya shriyante chasa karmani drishte vatmanishwara. Then only one can see Lord. Not so easy to see Lord. Not so easy to experience Lord. Only when a person is not tied up in anything, has only one pointed attention to Krishna, serves the Vaishnavas. Bas, that is enough. Serves one spiritual master, serves the Vaishnavas, serves Krishna. These three things are very important. Serving Vaishnavas, serving one spiritual master, and serving Krishna. Okay. We started with serving Vaishnavas. You cannot disregard a Vaishnava. Every Vaishnava is very important. Vaishnava, Guru, Krishna. Okay, read from here.
To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lusts and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of asamshayam samagram, understanding of the supreme absolute truth personality of Godhead. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Jnanam teham savikyānam idam bhakshyāmi sheshatah yajñātva neha bhūtonya jnātavyam avashishyate. Jnanam, see here, Vijnanam has also come. So this is Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Jnanam te aham. I'm going to give this knowledge, te aham. Savijnanam, along with practical knowledge. Numinous knowledge means experienced knowledge. Vijnana, Vishesha Rupena Jnana, experienced knowledge. Vakshyami asheshatah. I'll explain this in full. By knowing this, yaj gyatva, na iha bhuyaha anyad gyatva avashishyate. There will be nothing which will be unknown to you. If you have this jnanam, that is enough. Now today everybody is seeing Chandrayana. The whole day they are seeing. Not necessary whole day to see the comments. Who has worked hard in that field, very good. Pride for them, pride for the country. Yes, we should also feel pride. But that doesn't mean that you go on seeing the whole day. Because we don't know the head or tail. Neither we know the full utility of the satellite. But what is required? Okay, Chandrayaan 3 has been launched. It has safely reached moon. We are very proud to be a Hindustani. Everything fine, dash, dash, dash. But that is not our goal. Our goal is to even cross this moon, go back home, back to Godhead. So that is why very clearly it has been given. If I give this knowledge, there is no knowledge left which is unknown to you. Material world has so many material aspects, material knowledge. We need not have all the knowledge of this material world. Whatever, whenever required, Krishna provides. If you know him, then you know everything. You know everything, but you don't know him. No use of knowing anything. It's because in material world, there are so many things which is still a big mystery for everyone. We may be an expert scientist, we may be expert doctor, everything we may be. But there is so many things which is still unknown. So that is why very clearly one should understand. You know Krishna, then whatever, whenever required, Krishna gives that knowledge. Okay, Goloka, read. That is the goal of our life, to go to Goloka. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, just one question on that Chandrayaan. As a devotee, how do we look at it? Because I think Prabhupada has clearly stated in his, I think one of his morning talks or somewhere, I'm not recollecting it properly.
Very clearly,
That,
Krishna says, Prabhupada says, wasting the time, wasting money. Simple.
And he's also
Wasting
rejected
time,
that
wasting
it is
money.
not possible to reach the moon because where are the people who stay on the moon and where is the...
No, they have only sent a satellite. No? They are not sending any human there.
Okay.
Unmanned satellite. So whatever it is, but okay, we can even understand. But I was just contemplating on that. Whatever you said, what Prabhupada would have told now. Prabhupada would have told, wasting time, wasting money. But yes, by that, if you are using it in Krishna's service, like your Zoom connections and all these things need satellite services, then yes, wonderful. Satellite services, because of satellite services, today we are in the Zoom connection. I think satellite services are there in that or not. It's there. You can reach to any part of the world. You use all the modern technology in Krishna's service, then everything is wonderful. Like you say, everything is fair in love and war. Everything is fair in material progress, provided you are using it Krishna's service. Simple. Okay.
I read Mataji?
Read. Yeah, read.
Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyamya sheshtaha yagnatva neha bhuyonyaj jnatavyam avashishyate. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Purport. Complete knowledge includes knowledge of the phenomenal world, the spirit behind it, and the source of both of them. This is transcendental knowledge. The Lord wants to explain the above-mentioned system of knowledge because Arjun is Krishna's confidential devotee and friend. In the beginning of the 4th chapter, this explanation was given by the Lord, and it is again confirmed here. Complete knowledge can be achieved only by the devotee of the Lord in disciplic succession directly from the Lord. Therefore, one should be intelligent enough to know the source of all knowledge, who is the cause of all causes, and the only object for meditation in all types of yoga practice. When the cause of all causes becomes known, then everything knowable becomes known and nothing remains unknown. The Vedas, Mukunda Upanishad 1.3 says, Kashminu bhagavo vignate sarvam idam vignatam bhavatiti. Hare Krishna.
यस्मिन् विज्ञाते सर्व एवं विज्ञातं भवति. कस्मिन् यो भगवान विज्ञाते सर्वमिदं विज्ञातं भवति. You know Krishna, you know everything. What is the meaning of you know everything? Whenever whatever required, Krishna will give. We don't have to really endeavor to know many things. Because howsoever you try to know many things, material knowledge is very vast. What will you know about igneous rocks? What will you know about sedimentary rocks? No, knowledge is not just restricted. What will you know the depth of the sea? What are the most important things inside the sea? There is art in everything. Krishna's creation. What will you know about the pearls? How to identify real pearl? Just go. How to remove the pearls from the oyster? Is the knowledge just restricted to just science and mathematics? Is our ignorance that the knowledge is just restricted to mathematics and science and this? No. Knowledge is vast. Vast. How to just look at the sky and understand at what time it's going to rain. Now we are using weather forecast. In those days, people used to just look and understand, yes, now rains will come after 6 days. How? Such were the expertise. Just by the chirping of the chataka birds, people used to understand when the rains used to come. So this knowledge thing is a vast thing. But no Krishna, whenever whatever required, Krishna gives. Now, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vitti tatvatah. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vitti tatvatah. Among 1,000 men, one will endeavor. For what? To know I am not the body, I am soul. Yatatam api siddhanam. In that if one has really understood I am not the body, I am soul, he got the siddhi. Out of that 1,000 again. Again out of those 1,000, one will know me in full. Manushyanam sahasreshu. 1,000 into 1,000 is how much? 10 lakhs. Among 10 lakh men, one will know me in full. Among 1,000, one. Among that 1,000, again one. Like that you have to collect 1,000. That means among 10 lakhs. Is it right? 10 lakhs, right? Among 10 lakhs. One will know or one will try to know Krishna in full. That means one will try to walk in devotional service. So you have to endeavor with 10 lakh people, then you will get one person who will come in devotional path to study Bhagavad Gita. That means you are chosen one, or we are all chosen one among 10 lakhs to study Bhagavad Gita. How many attempts our acharyas must have done for us? So many handbills. Still remember to cultivate people to so many handbills. That means among 10 lakhs, we'll find one person taking up the study of Bhagavad Gita to know Krishna. Okay? Pushpa Mataji read.
Hare Krishna. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tatvatah. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. There are various grades of men, and out of many thousands, one may be sufficiently interested in transcendental realization to try to know what is the self, what is the body, and what is the absolute truth. Generally, mankind is simply engaged in the animal propensities, namely eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, and hardly anyone is interested in transcendental knowledge. The first 6 chapters of the Gita are meant for those who are interested in transcendental knowledge, in understanding the self, the super self, and the process of realization by Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and discrimination of the self from matter. However, Krishna can be known only by persons who are in Krishna consciousness. Other transcendentalists may achieve impersonal Brahman realization, for this is easier than understanding Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Person, but at the same time, he is beyond the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. The yogis and jnanis are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna. Although the greatest of the impersonalists, Sri Pada Shankaracharya, has admitted in his Gita commentary that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His followers do not accept Krishna as such, for it is very difficult to know Krishna, even though one has transcendental realization of impersonal Brahman. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the primeval Lord Govinda, Ishvara Paramaha Krishna, Satchit Ananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarvakarana Karanam. It is very difficult for the non-devotees to know him. Although non-devotees declare that the path of bhakti or devotional service is very easy, they cannot practice it. If the path of bhakti is so easy as the non-devotee class of men proclaim, then why do they take up the difficult path? Actually, the path of bhakti is not easy. The so-called path of bhakti practiced by unauthorized persons without knowledge of bhakti may be easy. But when it is practiced factually according to the rules and regulations, the speculative scholars and philosophers fall away from the path. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in his Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Harir Bhaktir Utpatayaiva Kalpate.
Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatrika Vidhi Vina Ekantika Harer Bhakti Utpat Eve Kevalam. Everybody likes to do their own ways of worship. So bhakti is not easy because one has to follow what has been told to us. Not that I worship anytime, ding dong bell. No, there's a process of worship. There's a DT course, worship course is there. Not that anytime I just open, ding dong bell, nothing. Every aarti follows the bhoga. First bhoga has to be offered, then only aarti should be done. Even morning also, first bhoga, first feed Krishna. After that only Mangala Aarti starts. There's a process even to offer the bhoga also to Krishna. Not that anyhow keep the plate, no, you have to chant the verses. And after that, even when I have to make the Lord sleep also, there's a way to make him sleep. There's a Gaur Aarti, Tulsi Aarti. So, bhakti is a format which our acharyas have clearly given. Not that do whatever I want. One has to learn. Okay, read.
Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upanishads, Puranas, and Narada Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. It is not possible for the Brahman realized impersonalist or the Paramatma realized yogi to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda or the charioteer of Arjuna. Even the great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. Muhyanti yat surayah.
Suraya.
Suraya mam tu vedana kaschana.
Kaschan.
Kaschana. No one knows me as I am, the Lord says, and if one does know him, then sa mahatma sudurlabha. Such a great soul is very rare. Therefore, unless one practices devotional service to the Lord, one cannot know Krishna as he is, even though one is a great scholar or philosopher. Only the pure devotees can know something of the inconceivable transcendental qualities in Krishna, his being the cause of all causes, his omnipotence and opulence, and his wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, because Krishna is benevolently inclined to his devotees. He is the last word in Brahman realization, and the devotees alone can realize him as he is. Therefore, it is said, Ataha Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet Grahyam Indriyai
Grahayam
Se
indriyahi sevonmukhahi jivado swayam
Swayam
eva
Eva
spurtiyadaha.
Surati Ada.
Atha Shri Krishna Nam Adi. That means to understand Krishna, his name, his form, his leelas, his family. Na bhavet grahayam indriyahi. Not by our own senses. Sunday we had taken this class. The Sunday love feast. Na bhavet grahayam indriyahi. Sevon mukhahi jivado. The more you serve, Janmashtami festivals are the ways to serve Krishna. Seva means connect people by in whatever way you can. Go talk to people, connect them to Krishna consciousness. It's very important. Sevon mukhaihi jivadu. Swayameva spurtiyada. Then Krishna gives the knowledge. Okay?
No one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 1.2.234. Hare Krishna.
Bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirev cha ahankareti yam me bhinna prakrutir ashtadha. Bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirev cha ahankareti yam me bhinna prakriti ashtadha. Prakrutir ashtadha. So first eight elements have been spoken. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Bhumirapo. Bhumi. Apaha, analaha, vayu, kham. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. And then these are the gross, subtle elements. The gross elements. Now subtle elements, man, buddhi, ahankara. We have 24 elements. We have studied that. Now Krishna here is describing about the first 5 in the gross and 3 in the subtle. Okay. Gautam, read. Just read the verse. Then the purport will be read by Palash.
Bhumirapo na Bhumirapo nalavayu kammano buddhireva cha ahankara itiyam me bhina prakritirastada.
Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 constitutes my separated material energies. Purport. The science of God analyzes the constitutional position of the God and his diverse energies. Material nature is called Prakriti, or the energy of the Lord in his different Purusas, incarnations, as explained in the Satvat Tantra.
Shweta, Satvata Tantra. Vishnostu त्रीणि रूपाणि पुरुषाख्यानि अथो विदुः एकं तु महतः स्रष्टः द्वितीयं त्वण्ड संस्थितम् तृतीयां सर्वभूतस्थं तानि ज्ञात्वा विमुच्यते. Three Vishnus. Karanadakshayi, Garbhadakshayi, Shivadakshayi Vishnu. What is Karanadakshayi Vishnu doing? Ekam tu Mahattah Srashtaha. Mahatta Srashtra. To create Karanadakshayi Vishnu is glancing over the Mahattattva. Dvitiyam Twanda Stitam. Twanda Samstitam. So then many universes like andas come out from the pores of Krishna. Krishna enters every pore as Garbhadakshayi Vishnu. And so many creations happen, secondary creations now. Now to maintain, Krishna enters in everyone's heart. Sarva Bhutastham. So Shiradakshayi Vishnu. Same Vishnu. Vishati iti sarvatraha Vishnu. One who cannot be stopped from entering anywhere and everywhere. Same Krishna only. Krishna appearing as Balram. Balram then expands into 4 Chaturvyuhas. Vasudeva Pradyumna Anirudh Sankarshan. And in this way, the whole spiritual world expands. Then the last Mahak Sankarshan expands into Karanadakshayi Vishnu, same Garbhadakshayi Vishnu, Shivadakshayi Vishnu. So one should understand they are not different from Krishna. Don't say, oh, this is Krishna or what? Yes, Krishna only. So don't have any difference between Krishna, Vasudeva, and Narayana. In one of the purport, very clearly, Srila Prabhupada writes, don't have differences between Krishna, Vasudeva, and Narayana. Okay, read.
For material creation, Lord Krishna's plenary expansion assumes 3 Vishnus. The first one, Mahavishnu, creates the total material energy known as the Mahatattva. The second, Garbhadakshayi Vishnu, enters into all the universe to create diversities in each of them. The third, Kridodakshayi Vishnu, it diffuses as the all-pervading super soul in all the universe and is known as Paramatma. He is the present even within the atoms. Anyone knows these 3 Vishnus can be liberated from the material entanglements. This material world is a temporary manifestation of one of the energies of the Lord. All the activities of the material world are directed by these 3 Vishnus. Expansion of the Lord, Krishna. These Purusas are called incarnation. Generally, one who does not know the science of God, Krishna, assumes that this material world is for the enjoyment of all the living entities and that the living entities are the Purusas, the causes, the controllers, and the enjoyers of the material energy. According to the Bhagavad Gita, these aesthetics conclusion is false. In the verse under the discussion, it is stated that Krishna is the original cause of the material manifestation. Srimad Bhagavatam also confirms this. The ingredients of the material manifestation are separated energies of the Lord. Even the Brahma Jyoti, which is the ultimate goal of the impersonalist, is the spiritual energy manifested in the spiritual sky. There are no spiritual diversities in Brahma Jyoti as there are in the Vaikuntha Lokas, and in the impersonalist accepts this Brahma Jyoti as the ultimate eternal goal. The Paramata manifestation is also the temporary, and all pervasive aspects of Kriyodhashaki Vishnu. The Paramatma manifestation is not eternal in the
Shirodakshayi Vishnu. Shirodakshayi Vishnu.
Kriyodhakshayi Vishnu.
Don't pronounce K. She. It is Kshi. Shirodakshayi Vishnu.
Kriyodhakshayi Vishnu. The Paramatma manifestation
That is Paramatma. Shirodakshayi Vishnu is Paramatma.
The Paramatma manifestation is not eternal in the spiritual world. Therefore, the factual absolute truth is the supreme personality of the God Krishna. He is the complete energetic person and he possesses different, separated, and internal energy.
Okay. So in Paramatma is not there in the spiritual world. Why? Lord is present before them only. Paramatma aspect is only in the material world. In the spiritual world, Lord is manifested before only. He stands before, he talks to them. Okay, from here, Anuj, Prabhu, read. Your
In the
voice is not heard. Yeah, read.
in the material energy, the principal manifestation are it. Just wait, Mataji.
Why your sound is not coming? You unmute yourself.
Yes,
Unmute
Mataji.
yourself and read properly.
Yes, in the material energy, the principal manifestation are eight, as above mentioned. Out of these, the first five manifestations, namely earth, water, fire, air, and sky, are called the five magnetic creations, or the gross creations, within which the five sense objects are included. They are manifestation of physical sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. Material science compromises these 10 items and nothing more. But the other three items, namely mind, intelligence, and false ego, are neglected by the materialistics. Philosophers who deal with mental activities are also not perfect in knowledge, because they do not know the ultimate source, Krishna. The false ego, I am, and it's mine, which constitute the basic principle of material existence, includes 10 sense organs for material activities. Intelligence refers to the total material creation, called Mahat Tattva. Therefore, from the eight separated energies of the Lord are manifest the 24 elements of the material world, which are the subject matter of Sankhya atheistic philosophy. They are originally offshoots from Krishna's energy and are separated from him. But atheistic Sankhya philosophers with a poor fund of knowledge do not know Krishna as the cause of all causes. The subject matter of discussion in the Sankhya philosophy is the manifestation of the external energy of Krishna, as it is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
So here we'll stop. Any questions you can ask.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah.
How do we explain to someone that devotional service is scientific?
You have to read the book Scientific Basis and Krishna Consciousness. You'll read that book, you'll understand how everything is science. Everything has the science. Waking up early in the morning, simple example. The morning atmosphere, you have O3 oxygen. A lot of O3 oxygen. A lot of power is there. If you don't wake up early in the morning, take bath. When you take bath, blood circulation happens very fast. Is it not the science? So compare. When you go in the fresh air, then naturally you get a lot of O3, you get the energy. Energy is built up. By chanting, what is happening? You're pressing. You're pressing this finger. This vein goes to your heart. You want science? How many sciences behind it? That's how you're massaging actually. Every day your massaging happens with your this finger. So you want science, so many things will be there. But the logic and bhakti begins. But Krishna's mercy, how it flows, that you cannot prove with the science. How Krishna makes a person remember him. How Krishna makes a person forget his even past life. What science can work on that? So where logics end, there Krishna's hand can be understood. Mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. How Krishna makes us forget our past. Just remember, if you remember our past, There are ways to remember your past, hypnotic, but how much hypnotic, some regression process is there by which you will come to know your past. But again, that is also some means. On your own, you did not remember. You behaved in an absurd way. To understand why you are behaving in an absurd way, then your past is seen. Why you are a mental case or what it is, then your past is seen. But then how many past to remember? Just one past? What is the past before that? So for some treatment process, this is given. Why such type of vasanas are there? Impressions. Vasanas is previous life impressions are there. So for that, hypnotic regression law. But who will give the answer for it? How Krishna makes us forget? Which science can tell about how the digestion happens? You may say this acid, that acid, this is released, pancreas release this acid, that acid. Okay, after even everything, there is a fire in the stomach. How that Agni makes the food dissolve. And how again it is going in every cell as the vitamins. Which science will reply? To some extent, science, yes. But after that, is something which is beyond. There's a nice line, something which is beyond. It's not with our capacity. Why our neck is not turning behind? What is the answer? I could have seen my back now. What is the answer for this? Why Krishna did not make us rotate? What's the answer for it? So for everything, Bhakti is beyond science. First thing, hammer then on the head then. To see God, we cannot see with our own eyes because we are not seeing our own back. So don't try to explain the Bhakti with the help of science. Yes, through the science, nature can be understood. Krishna's creation can be understood. Krishna's energy can be understood. But love for Krishna, that beyond. Something which is beyond. Krishna eats. What is the proof? Plate is as it is. What a person can understand. But yes, if you see hippies became happy because of prasad only. That means something which is beyond is working on even the nonsensical people. The most degraded ones. And they became happy and they became world preachers. How to understand this? Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, in the first verse under purport, who all are four kinds of fortunate and unfortunate people?
It will come now. This chapter includes different types of worshippers, 4 fortunate people, 4 unfortunate people, all. Anyone else? Okay, stop here. Vanchakalpatarubheshya kripasindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Vaishnavamiki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.